Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing. And if you are visiting me for the first time, may I request you to subscribe, and I assure you, you will not be disappointed. So many of you have been writing and asking me why I haven't made any video recently, and I thought if I give you an overdose of information, you may get tired, and it takes time to practically implement all that information I had given you in the past couple of videos. So I thought I'll give your mental state a break, and as it is, most of you are going through a lot of anxious state at the moment since the short listings is now begun, and you're wondering where do you stand. Well, so I thought I will make a very important video today, which is, I think, a very important part of any pageant, and that is how to answer pageant questions. First and foremost, let me tell you, most of the time, if you look for pageant question and answers on the internet, you will find very common answers. Even if today, when I give you these answers, they will become common to a lot of people who will be watching me. So if you answer the same thing, maybe you don't get good marks. It's because it's a common answer. It will become a common answer. So that is why a good pageant coach or a good pageant book will never give you the answers, because they expect you to use your own creativity to think of the right answer. And that is why in my own book, which is right behind me out there, The Beauty Pageant's Green Room, I have only given you 500 questions, but I have not given you the answers. Reason being, if I give you the answer and everybody answers the same, then where is your uniqueness? How would a judge decide who's the winner? Because everybody is saying the same thing, right? So, first and foremost, my first humble request to all of you is, please do not go on the internet and look for the answers, because most of the answers you will find are from previous winners. So I thought I'll come up with about um 10 questions which are very common, and they would expect you to answer it very differently. The first thing you must remember, that your questions have to be to the point. You cannot be beating around the bush. Your question has to be to the point. Second thing, they will give you minimum 30 seconds to answer the question. So whenever you're practicing your question, remember the 30-second deadline. If you go beyond 30, either they'll switch off or you may get disqualified. And most of the time, people do not like very verbose people. So they say KISS, keep it short and simple. Don't use very elaborate words, don't use very flowery language. Just use common language and stick to the point, to what is being asked. And if you think that you don't know what they are asking, there is absolutely no harm in clarifying and asking them. I'm sorry, sir, can you kindly rephrase your question? Use your excuses and please and thank me, all these kinds of things in a very polite way. And you can ask the judge to either repeat the question or rephrase the question, because sometimes maybe how the question has been put across to you, you have not been able to understand it. But when it is rephrased differently, you instantly get the question, what exactly they're going to ask. So be bold enough to ask, because in case you don't answer and you remain silent, you've lost all the chance. But if you tried, if you were bold enough to ask, and the question came to you and you were comfortable and you could answer, wow, great. And even if you did not get it, even if your answer wasn't great, at least you will never have the regret that I never got a chance to answer. So be brave enough, be confident enough to ask, sir, can you please repeat the question? Or sir, can you rephrase the question? Another question a lot of people ask me in general is that can I answer in, if I don't know English, can I answer in Hindi? Well, very frankly speaking, yes, you can. You can answer in Hindi, but knowing English language would always be a little bit of an advantage to you, because if you go international, there'll be girls from different countries out there, and English being a common language, it becomes easy for each other to communicate and understand them, build that friendship. However, when it comes to pageants, there are translators out there who will be able to translate your questions. But I've also realized that when there is a translator who's trying to translate your question, half the essence of your question is lost, because whatever you answered while translating it, maybe they miss out on the main things, they pick up the main point and then they just translate that. So you may miss out on the essence of your answer. So it's good to know at least spoken English, the basic English. And if you think you're not good at it, might as well start working on it. So the time you are there, you would be able to achieve that goal of answering your question in English, or answering your question in such a way that everybody out there understands it. However, if it is very tough for you, it's okay if you want to answer in Hindi. But it's very important that if the judge has asked you the question in English, then say, "Sir, I'm very comfortable in Hindi. May I answer in Hindi?" Take permission. But if he is asking the question in Hindi and you are answering in English, that's also not right. So follow what language has the judge used. Try to answer in the same. And if you don't know that language, then ask permission if you can answer in an alternative language, right? So between 30 seconds, and it's very important that you be present there. Listen to the question well. Sometimes we don't listen to the entire question, we just listen to the first part and start answering, whereas the question has another part. Who's your role model and why? So you just answered, my role model is blah, blah, blah. And you never answered why. Then how do you expect you will get the marks? Because why is the main essence of that question. So wait for the judge to finish the question. Take a deep breath, which will be just a second or two. Clear your head and then start answering the question. A lot of people say, is it important to say thank you for the question, sir? Well, very frankly speaking, it's very cliche to be saying thank you for the question, sir, again and again and again. You've already spoken, given introduction to the jury, and again, thank you, thank you, thank you. And you have only 30 seconds. So if you're doing a lot of thank yous and a lot of gratitude, you will miss out on a lot of your answering. So it's okay, just say thank you, but whole thing, thank you for the question, sir, blah, 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 you can avoid that. That will save you a lot of time. So just a thank you up and down, both ways could just be absolutely fine. So let's get down to the question and answers. But as I said, it's important that you do not mug up these answers, because by the time you will reach your pageant, the answers which you will be discussing today will become as common as any. So one question which they normally ask you is, describe yourself. Tell me something about yourself. Now it's a very open-ended question. Very open-ended question. You can tell anything about yourself. So I suggest that you have already given them your introduction. They know the basics about you already. So now is the time to add those extra things which you could not add in that introduction. Who are you? What makes you who you are? So this is the time when you can talk a lot about your personality. They already know what you do, what is your qualification, blah, blah, blah. The papers are right in front of them. So this is the chance for you to add those things which you have not been able to mention before, and they make you who you are, right? So be very, very specific about this question. Once again, remember, when we talk about ourselves, we get so carried away that we keep talking. 30 seconds is the limit. Okay. Another question which they will ask you is, um, how did you prepare for this pageant? So you say, sir, I have been preparing it physically, mentally, socially by learning the etiquette, culturally by understanding different cultures because I know I'm going to meet people from all over the world, and also spiritually. So I have worked on all five aspects of my personality to prepare for this, uh, be it my physical fitness, be it my diet, be it my question and answers, be it my ramp walk. So physically, mentally, socially, culturally, and spiritually, I have worked myself completely, right? Then maybe a question comes to you that um, who other than your family has really influenced your life? Now, this can have two different dimensions. One could be who other than your family has really influenced your life. In that way, because it's connected next to the family, then you can say, well, besides my family, most of the time I have spent is at my school and my college. So the most influential people who have really impacted my life are my teachers, because whoever I am today is because of them, because they have made me who I am. And the alternative question could be, who is your role model and why? Now, in this question, a lot of students say, my parents are my role model. Okay, fine. The answer is not wrong, but they don't know your parents, and so they will not be able to connect what value have you picked up from them unless you describe those values, saying that my mom is my role model because I've seen her work so hard day and out to make the two ends meet. My father, who's in the army, or whatever your background is. So give a reason why your parents are your role model. But my personal suggestion would be pick up a public figure. If you could pick up a public figure, so and so is my role model, why is that person your role model? What is so great about that person? And what have you learned from that person which you are implying in your life? Give them an example. That my role model is maybe maybe Oprah Winfrey, because whatever she is today, in spite of going through such hardships in life, has really taught me that, you know, failures should not let you just stay down. Failures should be like a football. The moment you fall down, bounce back again. Okay, this is what I have learned from her. So give a reason, what have you learned from role model and why? Then a question could be that tell me about your recent goal. So again, use your common sense and say, my recent goal is accomplished goal is standing in front of you today, because I have been working on myself for almost a year to prepare for this pageant. And to have crossed the auditions and standing in front of you today itself proves that this is one of the goals which I have accomplished, and I'm very proud of it. Then they might come up with question, define success in your own way. So again, now, yeah, one thing I forgot to mention is, because when you're answering these pageant questions, don't give a generalized answer. Always give your opinion, because it's your opinion. So you can say, I believe, or in my opinion. You can start your answer like that. Then it becomes completely your opinion. So define success. So, in my opinion, success is having a peaceful sleep at night, knowing that I have achieved my goals for the day. Now, it could be, success could be anything for anyone. For some people, money is success. For some people, power is success. For some people, being famous is success. For some people, having a great health is success. You know, it depends from person to person. So that's why I said there is no general answer. It is your opinion. What do you think is success means to you? Another common question they might ask you is that, do you think you want to be smart, or do you want to think you're beautiful? So given a chance to pick up being smart or being beautiful, what would you pick up and why? So you can say, well, I think I would pick up being smart, because once I am smart, I would find my ways to look beautiful. But if I'm beautiful and I'm not smart, I don't think I will have any means to become smart and show it to the world. But if I'm smart, I can always be beautiful. Another common question is, Describe your personality. Are you a fire or are you a water? Now, when they ask a specific question, then your answer has to be specific. You cannot say I'm both. Or maybe you can start by saying, well, to look at it, if I look at myself, I think I'm both. But since you asked me one, I would say I'm water because it's very flexible. It's cold. It calms. I'm always working as a mediator in between people. I'm flexible enough to adjust to any situation in life. And water can be as destructive as a tsunami and as calm as a lake. So depending on a situation, I fall on both of these category. I can be as ferocious or as angry, or maybe as energetic as a tsunami and as calm as a lake. So just define how you are water. I'm just giving you some of the points which you can use. Then what is that one message you would want to give to the world? So, well, one message I would want to give to the world is that live your dreams. Don't give up on your dreams, because giving up is no option. Failure is like it's known as first attempt at in learning. So failure is an experience which makes us who we are. So don't give up on your dreams. God always fulfills your dreams at the right place at the right time. Another message go up it again, it's a personal opinion. My message to the world would be peace and harmony. Don't be judgmental, don't be greedy, blah blah blah. Whatever you want to say because it is your opinion. Nobody's going to question you why you said that, because it's your opinion. Another question could be what makes you unique. Now again, to answer this question, you can think, what are you good at? Maybe you're good at sports. So my uniqueness is that I have learned sportsmanship and teamwork, and that is what I'm going to bring to the table. If you think that you're very good with creative arts, well, my uniqueness is that I'm very creative. I can create a song on any occasion. I can produce a dance for any occasion. So my creativity is something which I will be bringing to the table. So look for what is great in you and then use that as your uniqueness. Of course, that is your uniqueness. Maybe you speak well, maybe you paint well, maybe you are a people's person, maybe you're super intelligent, maybe you're very good with numbers. So what is your uniqueness and how you can bring it to the table? What can you do about it? That is what you bring out with this question. Then the question could be that let me just have a look. Why do you think we should pick you as a winner? Then you can say, well, one, that having all the right qualities which you're looking for the winner, I have all of them. Moreover, I understand very, very well that it's not just a crown. It's a crown which comes with responsibility. Being a winner is not just a title, it's a job. And I will have some specific work to do to promote peace, harmony, or whatever cause has been given to me, would be given to me as a title holder, along with also promoting the platform from where I'll be speaking. So it's a full-time job, and I completely understand and I'm ready for it. And that's my edge over others, because I know that I'm well prepared to take up that responsibility. Okay. Another very common question normally comes is, what will you do? What will be the first thing you will do once you become a winner? Or what will be the first thing you will do when you're crowned? Now, the first thing you will do instantly, what would you do? You will either thank God, or you thank your parents, or maybe you will hug the person who's standing right next to you. But if they say, what is the first task you will do? Or what is the one thing, how will you celebrate your win? Well, I'll celebrate it with my family and I'll eat all those things which I have been trying to avoid all these days, because I want to even avoid my palate, because it's always given me so much of strength to take charge of my own self. What is the first task you will do? The first task I will do is whatever task is assigned to me, or whatever cause I'm working on, that will be something I would start working on, or what is the first task I'll do is whatever the organization is asking me to do. So think what exactly they are asking, first thing to do, first task to do, or when, what, where. Listen to the question well. So first thing after crowning, naturally the first thing, what will be the first thing you will do when you're crowned? Of course, first thing I'll do is maybe thank God. I will hug a person who's this thing. First thing I'll say thanks to my parents, and then see simultaneously listen to the question well. The biggest problem is we don't listen to the question well, and when we don't listen to the question well, that's where we go wrong. So be in the moment. If you think you're going blank, take a couple of deep breaths so that your brain clears up, the oxygen flows in, and you're able to clear your head and answer the question. So don't be in so much of a hurry. Another tip I can give you is, before you answer a question, is that when you listen to the question, pick up the major words. For example, what is unique about you? Unique me. So unique me, two important words. Work on those and then answer. Unique me. What is unique in me? And then think and then answer. Right? So as I said, there is no right answer. There is no wrong answer. Whatever answer there is coming from you. It is your opinion. Nobody's, unless you are being very controversial, you are throwing names of people, you are contradicting yourself, that is where you will get into trouble. But if it's a general opinion, a short crisp answer, there are no chances that you will get into any kind of a problem. So practice is the key. And when you answer, it should not appear that you have marked up the answer. It should appear that it's coming straight from the heart. And when it comes straight from the heart, people can see through your body language, through your eye movement. So it's very important that when you prepare your question and answers, look into the mirror and see, what is my body saying? Is it saying that, I'm just uh, um, memorized these because I'm not using any body gestures. I'm simply staring at a person and answering, not being animated. Because when you think, of course, your eyes will move, your hands will move, your entire body will be looking for that answer, and that a judge can see. So practice, practice, practice. Practice makes you perfect. And I hope this little video helps you to prepare for your question and answers. And as I said, this is the book I have written, and it has a specific chapter which says answering beauty pageant questions, and it has 500 questions, 500 common questions, which you can practice and you can answer. And if you come to me for coaching, then I will be giving you much, much more questions to practice and answer. And yes, we will be able to find you some very, very unique answers. So practice with your family, practice with your friends, and if possible, find two unique answers to each question, so that if it's a common question and somebody's already answered that, then you know what next to say and how would you be different than the other person, right? So again, as I said, this is an important part of pageantry. Give yourself time, practice well, and then nobody can stop you from becoming a winner. So till I meet you again, a very happy Diwali. Take care of yourself, and may God bless you all.